Hey, what's up guys? I'm John from See the Night Vision Company.
I'm Derek, Aimpoint Professional Training.
And today we're going to talk about zeroing your laser on your rifle. Now, laser zeros come in two different flavors. You have parallel zeros, which are also considered a constant offset zero, and you have a converging zero, which is also considered an intersecting zero. Now, with both zeros, you can use them for specific tasks or specific gun types. So if I'm using a scoped gun for more distance or using a machine gun or something like that, I usually want to use a parallel style zero or a constant offset zero. With a converging zero, that's something I would use with a gun like mine that I have in my hand right now, where I am doing red dot stuff from like 300 and in, or that is the engagement area you're going to be looking at. So whether you're law enforcement, military, or civilian, you got to choose what works for you and what works for your environment that you're gonna be doing stuff with. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys how to do a converging zero. Derek's gonna help me, and we're gonna zero the laser to the zeroed optic that's on the rifle, and it should be pretty fun. All right guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and zero the laser and converge it to the aim point. So Derek's gonna go grab a tool. He's gonna use it to like adjust my laser. Make sure you have the tool for your laser when you do this. You can hold it like I am, or you can like stabilize it on a bench or something like that. Just remember not to put any inputs into the actual rail, because that'll also cause some issues. Now, what you guys are seeing hopefully is through my night vision device, you're gonna see the red dot. With that red dot, you can see where the laser is, and sometimes I like to blink it on and off or adjust the red dot brighter and dimmer so you can see which one is which. So if you needed to distinguish between the two dots that you're looking at. Once you have that, now it's time to like give your buddy some direction. So what I'll have Derek do, since I am sitting low and left of my red dot, he's gonna give me dialing, and he's just gonna do elevation first. So keep going, stop, oh, a little too much. Oh, give me some more, just a couple more. And I'm just gonna keep walking them in, maybe a couple more. Sorry, I looked way closer than before. All right, and then do me a favor, go right now, Derek. So now you'll see how he adjusts it, and the laser just drifts towards my red dot. The red dot's the dimmer one, and the laser's the big bright one that's in our image here. Now, if you guys are seeing, right, how it jumps from one spot to the other, that's because Derek is touching or pushing into the laser as he does it, and that'll cause like the convergence to like give you a false reading because he's pushing on the laser. So you'll just have to have him keep going, and every time you check it, make sure he just takes his hand off of it. Now that we're there, this is where I would go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys how to get stable with your laser and your rifle and actually shoot this thing on a B8 that you're seeing over here on the left. All right guys, so now we're gonna go ahead through the shooting process, right? You wanna converge your laser, but then you wanna also make sure you confirm that you're seeing or getting what you wanted out of the laser zero after you confirmed it to your optic. So remember, we just took the laser and we brought it to our zeroed aim point, and now we're gonna put it on paper, just the laser by itself. So I'm gonna get into what is like a seated position to do this without any extra support. Now, you could technically do this off of a barrel or a table or a tripod or something like that, a bag. You could do this however, billions of ways. I like to show people how to do it without anything extra, just in case that's all you got, right? So seated is one of my favorites. So what I do is I do crisscross applesauce, if you could do that. You get down into a seated position, you'll notice I'm kind of bladed to the side, because to aim my rifle this way, I kind of have to be. From there, if you can't tell, the stock is on my lap or close to it. The rail is on my hand, which is on my knee, to create a hard to soft surface. And then the mag is actually into the inside of my leg, or the inside of my knee, which also adds another surface area that I can push into or add a little bit of pressure to control the gun. Now, elevation changes, if you guys are watching, elevation changes are gonna be pretty simple. All I'm gonna do is go ahead and I can bring my knees, right, together, and it'll bring the optic or the laser up. If I take my feet or my knees apart more, it'll bring the laser down. So I want to try and find the most comfortable position where I don't have to muscle the gun anywhere, just like you would with any kind of zeroing. And I also want to check my natural point of aim and also check my breathing. So from here, once I get into position, all right, now I'm going to go through some breathing cycles so I can see how my natural point of aim is looking. So as you guys can see, every time I breathe out, it goes back to target. That's what I want. So now I'm going to go ahead and take some shots. So I'm going to make sure the gun is vertical to the, yeah, it's going to be upright and not canted in any way, and make sure I'm stable and make sure I'm not breathing while I take a shot, and be courteous or have some respect to the trigger. Now, let's say you were shooting or you were aiming at the target and the target seemed really like washed out by your laser. One of the tricks you can do is actually turn on your white light and look how much smaller your little laser gets. So if you were already on a low mode and you couldn't get it any dimmer, this is a technique to get it really, really small. And now I can take even smaller shots, and I can take my time and actually get a really precise shot. So from here, I'll shoot another 5 so you guys can see it. And you can see like my natural point of aim was good because it kept returning back to the target, and that's kind of what I'm looking for with my zeroing process, or at least the shooting process to the zero. Now what you would do from here, boys, is you go observe your target, make sure you have the impacts you're looking for, and then adjust them based off of your laser and what it says. So if I have my impacts low and right, I'm going to go up and left with my adjustments that are on my laser turrets. So don't go backwards. Don't think they're a different way unless you have one of the Holosun lasers that'll also be slightly different because it's meant to be mounted sideways. So for any of the modern lasers, you're going to just follow the directions that are on there. And that's how you would zero your laser, boys, and confirm your zero.